Hey, this is Lewis from SoFly, and in this video I'm going to give an in-depth overview of Oxygen. So Oxygen is a plugin, but you don't need a theme with Oxygen. It's a complete site builder. You design your entire website with Oxygen. So let's go ahead and activate Oxygen. And Oxygen has a design library. So when you first activate it, you'll be asked if you want to load a pre-made website from the library. I'm going to choose a blank install here, just so I can show you the various features of Oxygen. So the first thing I'm going to do here is create a template for my header and my footer. So I'm going to go to Oxygen, Templates, add a new template, and I'll call this template Main. And I'm going to put my header and footer in here and just apply it to all pages of my site. So Oxygen's templating engine is why you don't need a theme with Oxygen. You can apply designs to everywhere, all post types, custom post types from plugins. You got filtering options based on taxonomy, all archives, certain taxonomy, certain post types, search results, 404, etc. So I'm going to do a catch-all template. That's just going to apply the header and footer I put in here everywhere. So now that I've done that, I will save and then edit with Oxygen. So this is Oxygen's visual editing interface. We've got our add button on the left, and then we've got all the elements you can add to your page. We have the structure panel, which will show you everything on the page. The manage menu to see settings, style sheets, custom selectors, classes, back to WordPress to go back to your admin panel or front end. So everything you need is right at your fingertips, and of course the save button. So I could use our header builder to build a multi-row responsive sticky header, but I'm just going to load a pre-built one from the library. So I'll go to Library, Design Sets, Atomic, and then I'll go to Sections and Elements. And here we just have tons of various page sections and elements you can add to your page to build pages really quickly. So I'll go to Headers, and I will add in a header. And then below my header, I'm going to add an inner content element. So this is just going to render the page that this template is applied to. So I'll go add, back to basics, inner content. Right now that's just displaying this dummy blog post I got on the site, but this is where our page content will show up in this area. And then below the inner content, I will go to Library, Design Sets, Atomic. All the elements in a particular design set are going to look good together, so you can combine them however you want. They all have a similar style. So add in a footer, and now we have our template. So let's go ahead and save this. And now we're going to go ahead and build a page. So I'll go back to WordPress, Admin, I'll go Pages, Add New, and I'll just call this Home. Publish, and edit with Oxygen. Okay, so here we are inside of Oxygen again. Let's go ahead and add some elements to this page. So I'll go to Add, and I will build it from sections in the library. So go Library, Design Sets, Atomic, Sections and Elements, and let's go ahead and add in a hero section. And then below the hero, let's add in some social proof, like a logo grid. And then below that, let's add in some content. Let's go with some icon blocks. And then below that, we will add in, let's add in some contact info. Let's add in this nice little contact bar. And okay, this will be the home page for our site. So let's go ahead and save this. And now to customize this page, so to edit text, you just double click it. So double click and just type in your text. When you're editing text, you get this little formatting toolbar at the top. When you're done editing, just click outside the text. If you need to reorder things, you just click and drag and drop. You move it down, move it up. If we don't want the icon, for example, we click it, click delete. If we accidentally delete something, you can undo the delete. If you want to adjust spacing, you mouse over the edge and then you drag. So you can add spacing below the heading or below the icon. You want to add spacing on the section, you click the section and then drag up and down. So that's how you edit the stuff on your page. Let me show you global styles. So we'll go to Manage, Settings, Global Styles. And here we can control global styles for things like headings, body text, links, page width. Let's change the font. So by default, we're using Source Sans Pro and Open Sans. These are from Google Fonts. But you can also use fonts from Typekit. You can upload custom web fonts using Elegant Custom Fonts. You could even use a third-party cloud typography provider. So I'm going to go ahead and change the fonts here to Allegria for headings, and then Allegria Sans for text. So now we've uploaded our fonts everywhere. Right, this element uses our heading font since it's a heading, and then this element's text, it uses the text font. Even though we don't choose a font here, it just uses the global font since we haven't overridden it. And another really cool thing about Oxygen that saves tons of time when compared with normal page builders is that Oxygen uses CSS classes. So that lets you apply the same styles to multiple elements. So for example, let's take these icon blocks, for example. Let's say we want to edit these. Well, let's say I want to change the font size of this element. Well, it's also going to update the font size of these two because they both have the same class. So watch this. I'll change it to 36. Or use the arrow keys to adjust the size, and it updates it everywhere. If I want to add space, space is added everywhere that this class is used. So that way you don't have to apply the same styling changes to multiple places. You can just change it in one place, and it applies everywhere you use the same class. So that saves a ton of time, especially when you've used the same thing across 5 different pages of your website. It's so hard to manually edit all that stuff and get a consistent look. But with Oxygen, getting a consistent look is very easy. Okay, now that we've designed a page, let's go ahead and save this. So just click Save and take a look on the front end. And here we go. Here is our page. Now let's go ahead and build a blog post template. So this design is just for our homepage, but let's say we want to apply the same design to all of our blog posts. So to do that, we'll go New, Template, or we could go Oxygen Templates in the WordPress admin, and I will call this blog post. Let's publish that. And I don't want to redesign my header and footer here, so I'm just going to inherit the header and footer from the main template. So we have this Inherit Design option here. I'm going to choose Main. And now this template is going to inherit the header and footer from the main template. And now where does this template apply? We'll choose singular, and we can apply to all post types, but I'm just going to apply to posts. I already have like 25 example blog posts on this site. So let's save that, and now edit with Oxygen. And now let's design a nice layout for our blog post. So at the top, we probably want the title of the post. So I'll go to Add, Section, and then for the title is just going to be a heading. So this will be the post title. And then below the post title, we probably want the post date. This will be the post date. And we might want the categories too, which I'll add in a minute. So let's go ahead now and make this heading display the post title. So we'll double click to edit, and then we'll click Insert Data. This will insert data from the WordPress database to use as the value for this heading. So I'll click Insert Data. And we've got title content, you use custom fields, you can even use a PHP function return value for unlimited flexibility. I'm going to use the post title here, click Insert, and now this field displays the post title. And all the blog posts that this template applies to appear in this preview dropdown. So I can preview different posts, and you'll see that the title here will be updated. So for the post date, it's the same. I'll type in posted on, and then we'll click Insert Data. And we'll say posted on date, insert, and now it says the date that the post was made. Let's go ahead and center everything here. So I'll just click the section in the layout controls to stack vertically, center. And now let's set the section background to the post image. So to do that, we'll go to Advanced, Background, Background Image. We could browse for an image in the media library, but what I want to do is set the background image to the post featured image. So to do that, I'll click Data, and then Featured Image. Insert. And now if the post had a featured image, it would be used as the background. So let's preview a few I think quite a few of these do have images. So here we go. There's one with an image. There's another. Now let's go ahead and add in some padding here just so it's bigger. So, okay, let's add about 160 pixels on either side. And now we can't read the title. So let's tint the image. Oxygen has a lot of great, useful design features like that. We can make the image lighter. To make the text more readable. Let's make the text a little bit darker too. Let's make this black, and then let's make it a little bigger. Let's make the date bigger too. Let's type in a font size here. Let's go with 30 pixels for the date, and text color of, let's go semi-transparent black, and font weight of, say, 300. Okay, that looks good. There is our title section. So all this data is populated dynamically. Background image, title, date, all from the WordPress database. Now let's go ahead and design the post content. So we'll add in another section, and then I'll go add, and I could just add in a text element and go insert data content, and I'd have the content. But we also have shortcuts for the common things. If you go to add WordPress dynamic data, you just click content, and that'll add in text element. So it'll save you a few clicks. And then let's style this text up a little bit. So this is probably way too wide. We don't want these long line lengths. So let's go to the section, advanced size and spacing. Let's do section container width is a custom width of, say, 800 pixels. And then let's make this text bigger. So we'll go, let's say, 21 pixels. And we go typography. We can adjust the line height. Say, nah, it's too little. Let's go 1.4, 1.45 looks good. Okay, now we have good readable blog post text. And then for the comment form, we'll just go add section. And then we'll go add WordPress comment form. Actually, let's drag this up here so it's the same width and give it a little bit of space. And then we could style the form fields, submit button color, etc. And then above the comment form, let's put the comments list. This is the list of comments on the post. So I don't think I have any comments set up here, but let's preview a post that I know has one comment, the Hello World post. This always has a comment. Okay, so here is our comments list. Let's add some space there, take away some space here. Looks good. And then the comments list, you got some preset templates you can use for this. Or you get super advanced, you could actually edit the template PHP and template CSS that's rendering this. You could even add in custom PHP code into this template with the code block, run the WordPress loop, call WordPress API functions, all the same power you'd have if you were actually editing a theme PHP file. So you can see it's super easy to build stuff like this, but it also really has unlimited power, just as much as you'd have if you were hand coding. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. And let's preview a post that has a nice featured image and then take a look on the front end. Beautiful. Okay, let's save and front end. And here we go. Here is our blog post template. So this applies to all of our blog posts now. Okay, now that we've built a blog post template, let's design another static page. But instead of using library elements like we did for the homepage, I will just design it with Oxygen's basic builder elements, and you'll see how to design pages with Oxygen. So let's call this features, just an example content page. Publish, edit with Oxygen. And the first thing I want to cover here is Oxygen's Flexbox layout engine. This makes it really easy to create both vertical and horizontal layouts and space elements out without relying on columns. So we'll go add section. Generally, when you're building pages, you'll do the layout with sections, divs, and columns. So by default, everything in Oxygen has a vertical layout. So you add in a heading, and then let's say you add in a button. The button's going to show up below the heading. And then to lay the elements out in the section, you click the section and we have these layout controls. Child element layout, that controls the layout of the elements inside the section, stack vertically or stack horizontally. And then we have alignments. We can go left, center, right, or stretch. So we'll go with center. You could add some space, double click to remove the space. Or let's say we want to create a horizontal layout. You can choose stack child elements horizontally. And then we have vertical item alignment. I'm going to leave it on middle. We do horizontal alignment left, right, center. I could click on here the button and drag it over to add some space. Or I could use space around to distribute the available space evenly. This is what's great about Flexbox, or space between. And then for responsive, let's say this is not going to look good on responsive because this text is going to start wrapping, because let's say we make the screen smaller, right? It's way too cramped. So for responsive and Oxygen, you just click the screen icon here, choose a device width, and then you can create different styles for different widths. So here I can see at less than 992, the section's starting to get a little cramped. So I'm just going to change a style. So I'll click the section, and we're going to go stack vertically. And then I will even add in some space. So we just added the styles for 992 pixels and below. If we go back to all devices, we've still got our horizontal layout, but less than 992, we've got our vertical layout. And you can edit pretty much all properties, all CSS properties when you are editing responsive style. So let's say at 480, I want to change this text size. I could just go to font size here and 24. Now it's smaller. If I want to change text alignment, typography, text align, center. Now we've got text like that there and here, and then it's smaller over here. So super, super, super flexible. Let's create a horizontal layout inside a vertical layout without columns. So I'll add in a section. Let's do a vertical layout here. So we got our heading. Let's click the section to center that. Then this is going to be a button. This is going to be one of those typical layouts you see where you've got a heading, and then you've got your call to action button, but then you've got a secondary call to action to the right of this button. So if you've used other page builders, usually you'd probably add a columns, and then you drag your button into the columns, and then you add another button to the other column, and you got to mess with the alignment of the buttons, and you got to do something. It's just very, very annoying. With Oxygen, you don't need to use columns. So let's delete these columns because they're annoying. We don't need them for this. It's overkill. And we're just going to add in a div. We're going to add in a text link. So what we want to do is we want to put the link right next to the button. So we're going to put the button and the link in the div. Sometimes it's hard to drag in something that's really big into an element that's small. So when that happens, just use the structure panel. That'll list all the elements on your page, and then you can just drag it in like that. This is also good if you have a really long page, you want to move a section from the top to bottom. Okay, so now we've got our button and our link in the div. Let's click the div. Let's remove the space from the button. Actually, we don't want that. We want the space to be on the div. And then we'll click the div here, and we'll choose Stack Child Elements horizontally, vertical item alignment middle, and we'll add some space here. So now we've created a vertical layout, right, heading and then the button bar, but we've made our horizontal button bar here without using columns. We just use a div. So that way you can combine horizontal and vertical layouts. It's really easy to create pretty much any layout this way by combining sections, columns, and divs. So let me explain Oxygen's basic builder elements. So you go to Add, Basics. You've got headings, text, rich text is for adding text to your page. You've got text links, buttons, and link wrappers is for adding links. You've got images, video, and icon. If you add an icon, you can choose, you can even upload your own SVG icon sets. So by default, we've got Font Awesome and linear icons in here, but you can create your own icon set from IcoMoon, export it, import it to Oxygen, use your own custom SVGs. So no limits there. And then we've got code block where you can add in PHP, HTML, JavaScript, CSS to the page. So if you combine these elements, you can create pretty much any design. But we also have our helper elements that make it easy to create things like headers, social icons, testimonials, etc. Right? You could add a social icons rather than adding 3 icons. You could just add in a social icons, and then you've got your social icons. You got the common styling options that you'd want for social icons. Right now I've got a nice little social icons list, and it's just very quick to do that. In addition, so we got header builder, social icons, testimonial, icon box, pricing box, just all the common things you'd expect, progress bar. We've got easy post for listing posts. We've got a gallery, slider. You can put anything in the slider, tabs. You can put anything in the tabs. You're not just limited to text or images with these super box, which is for doing animated hover effects, toggle. So I'm not going to get into all these in the tour. It would take 2 hours, but we've got documentation, video tutorials on using all of these elements. let me make a few testimonial blocks. And I'll show you some Oxygen's effects and how to use classes. So let's add in a section here. We'll go add basics section. Let's add in a heading. I'll say something like people love Oxygen, and then we'll put in a few testimonials. So let's delete this. We don't need it. Let's center this, and then we'll go add helpers testimonial. And I'm going to add in 3 testimonials. But before I duplicate this testimonial, I'm going to add a class to it. That's going to let us apply the same styles to all the testimonials. So here I'll go click selector to edit, choose selector to edit, click it, enter a class name. I'm going to call this my testimonial, hit enter. Now this testimonial has a class. So all testimonials that have this class are going to look the same, even if they're used on different pages. So let's duplicate this 3 times, and then we will style the testimonial. So the primary tab for all Oxygen elements has the settings that are common to that element, like testimonial, you've got image, layout, spacing. Advanced, you've got things, all the other more advanced CSS styles. So let's go to size and spacing, padding, add 40 pixels on all sides. Let's go to max width. Let's give it a max width of 700. And let's add in some spacing. And then let's change the background of the section. So go background color gray. And for the testimonial, we'll go advanced background color white. And now we've got 3 testimonials, and they all look the same. All right, see if we add padding, it adds it to all of the testimonials. If we go to the layout, we want a vertical testimonial, centered. Now they're all vertical, they're all centered. So you don't have to make the same styling tweaks in multiple places. Okay, now to edit the testimonial text, you would just double click it and type in as normal. And then for the testimonial image, we just go to image here, browse. I think I already uploaded. Yes, I did upload some nice faces here. Select image. There's our image. And of course, this won't apply to classes because you want to use a different image. So Oxygen is, it's smart like that. Okay, now we've got some nice looking testimonials. Let's go ahead and make these responsive. So let's say we go to less than 768, starting to get a little cramped. Less than 480. Now we're really cramped. So let's go to the testimonial settings, go to layout, choose a vertical layout below 768, and mobile content alignment of center. And now on all devices, they're like that, but once we go down the resolutions, they stack vertically. And let's add a nice little shadow effect to these. So we'll go to advanced effects. We can do a box shadow. And we'll do a semi-transparent black shadow, no offset, and 20 pixels of blur. And now you can see we've got a nice shadow behind the testimonials, which makes them pop a little bit. That's excessive, but just for the video, just so you can see what I'm doing. I like to use very, very mild shadows. I hate to see these really obvious, big things. It's overdoing it. Okay, what else do I want to show here? Let's create a page break section here with a background. We'll make a parallax background, and we'll tint the background image too. So I'll add in a section, go background. You can even do video backgrounds down here. Hide the video on mobile, keep it nice, fast for mobile users. Let's go browse and choose a nice image. Let's choose a high res. Let's choose a big one like this. Okay, now let's add in some space here. And let's say we want to get a parallax effect on the background. So what we can do is go background attachment fixed, and now the background is fixed to the page. It doesn't scroll. So when we scroll the page, the background stays still. That's how to get a cool parallax effect. So we could do like a nice parallax hero section. See, I don't know, what would this be for? Like a nature conservancy website? Okay, let's make this text white, and let's go bigger. We hate the environment. Let's close the structure panel. Let's make that smaller. I'm just kidding. We love the environment. And then we go center. And let's tint this image so it looks a little better. So let's go an overlay of let's make it look even more green. So go like a green like that, a very naturey green, and then we'll drag that slider for the tint. Now that text is very, very readable. And then we get this nice parallax effect on the hero section. So that's really cool. Okay, what else do I want to show? There's too much to show in a product overview video, but you get the idea. It's easy to build pages with Oxygen. Let's add in a gallery. This will probably be the last element I show you. Go helpers, gallery. You got to check out the video on sliders and Superbox and tabs though, because those are super cool and super powerful. They're not what you're used to with page builders. Then gallery source, we'll go browse. Let's choose a bunch of images here. Let's just load a bunch of images indiscriminately. Okay, create new gallery. And we could caption these. We get hover effects in Oxygen in the gallery if we captioned them. Beach, nature, more nature, wheat is blue. Okay, so now I added in some captions. So the ones with captions, you get a caption effect on mouse over. And you can control that, whether or not to actually show these colors, etc. So let me, here, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna change the layout of the gallery. So images per row, instead of 4, we're gonna use 3 images per row here. Now we got this, and you'll notice that when there's not enough images here, right? We don't have a multiple of 3. Instead of having white space over here, it just expands the remaining images. We got space around images, so we could do like a tiled layout like that, no space. We have image minimum width to make it responsive. So you say you never want these images to be narrower than 400 pixels. You just put that in here. And that's not enough for 3 per row. So you could say 300. And then look at this, we go to 992. Now we get 2 per row. And here we get 1 per row, because it respects that minimum width. It won't let them get narrower than that. We got our image aspect ratio, 16:9, but you can go 4:3. If you want to go like Instagram, you can make them square, 1:1. We got, you can do a masonry layout. This is going to look better if you have very different image sizes, but you can get a layout like this. Let's go back to Flex. And then you've got your hover effects on the image. So let's say we could say image opacity is 0.8, and then on hover it's 1. Then you mouse over and the image just fades in. And we got a light box, so you click the image, it'll open up in a light box on the front end. Let's take a look at that real quick. Back to WordPress front end. Hey, here's our nice light box. You can go through that with the arrows. It's using photo swipe, which is the best JavaScript light box image gallery thing there is. Okay, cool. I don't want to spend an hour showing builder elements. So that's it for the builder elements in this overview. Watch the other videos. We got a bunch. Let's make a blog archive, because now we've designed a page from the library. We designed a static page ourselves. We understand layout and spacing and responsive. We've created some templates. We've created a blog post layout. Let's make a blog archive layout. So that's going to list all of our blog posts. So to do that, we'll go New, Template, Blog Archive, Publish, and then we're going to apply this to all archives. But first, what do? Do you remember? We inherit the design from our main template. This way, we get our header and footer that we already designed. And then where does this template apply? We'll go to Archive, and you can do taxonomy archives, custom taxonomies like from WooCommerce, like the WooCommerce shop or WooCommerce categories. Any custom taxonomies created by plugins like real estate plugins, job listing plugins, custom post types, any custom post types, plugin post types, ones you create with Toolset or custom post type UI, anything. So I'm just going to go with all archives here because this is the only type archive I have on this site. So let's go update. Edit with Oxygen. And here is our header and footer from the main template. And now let's go ahead and design our blog archive. So I'll add a section, and then we'll go add in a heading, and let's insert some data for the archive title. So we'll just go archive title here. It's going to be the post archive. Should be what we're previewing. I guess there's no title for the post archive for blog posts because there actually isn't any such thing. Let's preview a date archive, for example, or we just preview uncategorized and center everything. Honestly, we're probably better off by just putting something like the blog up here, making it big. And then below this, let's add in another section. And we will use the Easy Posts element to display a list of posts. So we go to Helpers, Easy Posts. And this is just an easy way to display a list of posts on your site. So you can control the post excerpt length, how many posts per page. If you're using a layout like this, you probably want 9. That's in the WordPress admin panel, so I'm not going to get into that in this video. But we've got a few different templates. We've got grids, we've got lists like this. We've got some cool overlay effects, actually. Lists with rectangle overlap, like this. In a masonry layout. Let's go with just grid image with gradient overlap here. I don't think that works with this site. Let's go with just grid image standard, or actually list image on left. So we got various templates, and you can customize these too. You can go into styles and adjust the size of the title and the colors and the meta and the content, responsive, all that stuff. You can also even edit the template. So you can go into template PHP, and this is just what's inside the WordPress loop. So you can edit this exactly as you wish to output custom fields, run any custom PHP you want. It behaves just like it would in the WordPress theme file. So, okay, so now we've got our list of posts here. So let's just go ahead and save that and then preview on the front end. And now we've designed a blog archive. Cool. Okay, let's wrap this up. So to do that, we're just going to go ahead and fill in the links to the pages we designed in our menu here. And that'll be the end. So to do that, we will go to the WordPress admin, Appearance, Menus. And if you don't have a menu, by default, the Oxygen menu element just displays some example links, so it looks good. But we're going to create a menu, and we'll just call this My Menu, Create Menu. And let's add in our home page, our features page. Let's do a uncategorized category, and let's just call this Blog. Let's rename this. We'll call that Blog. And Oxygen can even do drop-down, so I'll just add in, say, sample page here as a drop-down below features. We won't use it, but just so you can see how it works. Save that. And then if we go back to the front end, here is our menu, but oops, it's showing a blog post as the home page because we didn't set up a home page or a template for that. So let's set this home page here as our site's home page. So go Oxygen Demo, or WordPress Admin, Settings, Reading. Your home page shows a static page, Home, Save Changes, and now when we go there, here is the home page. We got our features, sample page. We can just click features and go to the blog. We can click on any blog post. And there it is. That's how it's done. That is a product overview of Oxygen. So thank you very much for watching. Again, this is Lewis from SoFly. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post in the comments, email us. We'd be happy to help you out. Okay, thank you so much for watching.